Welcome to Martha Runs the World, a podcast with a new take on running, fitness, and all things health-oriented. I'm Martha Hughes, your host, and each week I present a new topic that is of interest to all runners. Hi, and welcome to episode 320 of Martha Runs the World. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it each and every week. When we do something for a long time, stuff happens. Especially in running. When we run for a long time, our lives still go on around us, even with our running. Some of us get married, others of us get divorced, some have kids, some graduate from school, some get new jobs, some get laid off, some get sick, some get injured. Life happens. It continues to happen as we run. And when we run for our lifetime, after decades of running, things just happen. It's like a roller coaster ride that we never asked for, but yet we still get. It's like, I don't want this ticket. I want off this ride. But we can't really get off it, can we? Life happens. I would say another word, but I don't swear on this podcast. You get the picture. Hurdles pop up all the time. And like that Olympic gold medal champion, we take each hurdle as masterfully as we can. Yeah, sometimes it's not as easy as I just said it is. Yes, saying it is truly simple, but getting past every hurdle is really complicated sometimes and frustrating. Having a long-lasting podcast is like that too. And many podcasters don't talk about the problems that they have. They just let it go and pretend that everything is fabulous and wonderful. I can't do that. I'm honest with you. I want you to know what's going on behind the scenes sometimes because that's just who I am. I want you to know how things are. This podcast isn't always about being happy and wonderful and life is great and everything is perfect. No, because life isn't like that. Life isn't perfect. Our running lives aren't perfect. Stuff happens. And if we can't share it with each other, if we can't be on a run together and commiserate sometimes our bad times with our good times and share them together, then what is life about? Life is about the good times and the not so good times. So that is kind of what this episode is about. This is something that happened to me last week, and I'm continuing to experience it, and I'll tell you what that is all about this week. I go into other things that actually led to making this episode. A few things have happened that haven't been great with this podcast. I remember the day I spilled an entire glass of water on my last laptop. Yeah, that was really fun. No matter what I tried, I couldn't revive it. I tried everything that YouTube said to do. No, it didn't help. So I had to buy a whole new laptop. And I lost some interviews that hadn't aired yet, and I didn't have a chance to back them up. Yes, I know. But now I use a cloud backup, so I never miss any interviews. Everything's always automatically backed up. So that's not going to happen again. Even if something happens with this wonderful laptop that I have, which is actually better than the last one, nothing was going to happen to lose anything. I will have everything backed up automatically. That was very frustrating, and I almost quit. That was actually the time that I really said, I don't know if I can do this. I had to go back and interview. I lost 4 interviews. I had to go back and interview 3 of them, and the 4th person I couldn't get a hold of, so I never got to re-interview her. The other 3 were very understanding about it, and I was able to get probably better interviews because of it. But it was still very frustrating. And I didn't miss a week of my show. I actually got a laptop the next day and was able to get it started and get my show recorded and get it out on the air that week. So I didn't miss a beat. Well, maybe a half beat anyway. My shoulder injury in 2023 of December was another time yet that made me question whether I should keep going. I was in pain for days, but I actually recorded during that time with one arm in a sling. I don't actually know how I did it. I think my memory blocked out a lot of the real hard and ugly parts of that time just because it was so difficult. Try taking a shower with one arm that you can't use, that's not in a sling, but you don't dare use it. Oh, that was the scariest moment of my life. Trust me, it was the number one scariest moment of my life. I got through it, and how I did get through it is beyond me, but I did. I know you have times in your life that you wonder how the bleep you got through it. Some particularly tough and terrible times that somehow you survived. But you got through it, and you're still running. Or you're back to running or something. And sometimes it's just our stubbornness that keeps us going. And there's nothing wrong with being stubborn most of the time. It can save our lives and keep us running. This past week was another very trying time that I had, and I'm still kind of in it. And I don't mind sharing it with you. I will get past it, and I will continue on, and I will kind of need your help with that I'll tell you all about it. So I woke up last Thursday morning, and it was just like any other morning until I saw that my Facebook account was suspended. Why? I didn't know. I still really don't know why. I couldn't find any reason for it. I finally found out it was for an Instagram account I don't have. They said, this is because your Instagram account, they gave an account name that I've never seen before, has been doing things that was not acceptable, and so we suspended your Facebook. I don't know what this Instagram account is. I've never seen it before. I don't know. So I tried to, and the thing is that everyone gave me advice. I used you have to log into your Facebook, and you can do this and this and this. I tried to log in to my Facebook, and every password that my last password that I used wasn't accepted. And then I tried a couple other ones, not accepted. So every time I tried to log into my Facebook, it wasn't taking it. So I couldn't do all those tricks and stuff that YouTube said I could do to restore my account. So there's nothing that I could do about it. So I emailed them, the disputes department, and told them this isn't my account. Why is it being suspended? Who is this? Please help me. I haven't heard back. It's only been a few days, so I don't expect to hear back, to be honest. The thing with Facebook is that they'll allow the biggest spammers in the world, they'll allow the most horrible accounts as long as it's things that they don't mind, that it doesn't bother them. But one thing that bothers them, one little thing that bothers them, and boop, your account is suspended. It doesn't matter. And I don't know why. It wasn't for me. It was something else. I don't know who this account is. My Instagram account is fine. They didn't suspend that. So if it was something from Instagram, why isn't that gone? But maybe that will be gone in the future, and then I'll have to start Instagram all over again. And I'll do that. So I have started a new Facebook account. I'm slowly adding people in. But apparently I added them too fast because they restricted me. I don't know for how long, maybe 24 hours. I don't know. So I can't add any more people in. I can't put any likes in or anything like that. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. So it's a little frustrating. So probably my time on Facebook in the future will be a lot shorter and briefer than it was before. I'm probably not going to be in many groups. I'm probably not going to spend a whole lot of time there. The problem is that I have to start my podcast group all over again, put my podcast page in all over again, all that stuff all over again. If you liked my Martha Runs the World podcast page before, I'm going to ask you to go back in and like it again eventually when it gets set up. And I'll let you know when it is. Probably next week I'll get all that stuff set up. Probably not this week. I'm still dealing with a few things, so probably by next week's episode I'll have it up and running, and I'll let you know then. And if you were in the group, which was a really fun group, I will ask you to join again next week. Like I said, this week, just too much. And after it happened, I was given the Instagram address of a guy who could restore it, but he wanted to charge me $75, and I'm not going to pay someone to restore it for me. that I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't know this person. They could easily take my money and then I could never hear from them again. I'm not going to do that. It's like, nope, not worth it to me. I'll just start all over. That's fine. This was very frustrating to me, but this time I think I've had enough emergencies and enough bad things happen that it's not going to stop me from doing my podcast. I'm still going to do it. So no, this is just another hurdle I have to get over. It's just a pain in the neck. It also got me thinking, though, because it was so upsetting for me, I realized that I'm too reliant on Facebook. In the bigger picture, I'm too reliant on social media. So that brought the question around, are runners in general relying too much on social media? And I know for me, the answer is yes. So I don't think I'm alone in this, am I? Are other runners too reliant on social media? Ask yourself, if you didn't have access to Instagram, Facebook, X, Blue Sky, Reddit, whatever you go into, any of the other social media platforms, would it bother you or would you be just fine? Would you miss them or, who cares? I know for me it would bother me. Maybe not so much now than it did before all this stuff with Facebook. As it did when my Facebook was suspended, it really bugged me. Now I'm over it and I'm kind of bitter towards all that stuff, so I'm probably not going to spend as much time as I did in social media. It's like, okay, but I'm not I'm not the same person as I was before all this, and I don't really care so much about it. And also, thankfully, I didn't get suckered into paying for me to get it back, which was probably a scam. I don't really see it as anything else than that. Why would they charge you? It was just, I don't know, not a good thing. I'm glad I didn't fall for that. So besides promoting my podcast and spending time chatting with friends or getting to know people, but just as often getting into silly arguments with people I'll never meet in person, what else is social media but time wasters? They waste so much time. How often do we spend time looking at silly little videos? And what I see right now is the big thing are these stupid little videos that are showing you tips on how to do things, tips on how to make cooking or cleaning easier, and it's the dumbest thing in the world. It makes no sense. Why would you do this? But they don't care about that. They just want the views. They want the comments. Even if it's a hate comment that this video is dumb, they want you to make that comment because the more comments they get, the more likelihood that it's going to be monetized. Even if it's a comment that you hate that video, that's positive to them. So that's why they make these dumb videos. So don't comment on dumb videos. Just ignore it and go away. Don't even look at the video towards the end. Just go past it. Go past it. Don't comment. Don't make a comment. Even if you hate it, don't make a comment because they want you to make a comment. That's what social media is come to, are these stupid videos. It's the lowest common denominator. It's like reality shows. Why do people watch those things? Reality shows are the dumbest things in the world. They're for the lowest common denominator, and they're just idiocy. All right. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Runners need to focus on running and not do that stuff. I don't see how it helps anyone except with your friends. Yes, you can meet people there and stay in touch with them. And runners can help each other. But other than that, there's you can get to know these people and then you can text them or message them. And then that's it. I don't see the need for any of the social medias other than that stuff. I'm so bitter right now. I guess that's the problem, right? Is that I am. Now, do you remember what social media used to be? Do you remember run fees? Oh, run freeze, I guess it is. Do you remember when people used to just post running pictures? Everyone would post running pictures of themselves, and that would just be all that they do. And remember, in certain running groups, there would always be like a couple pictures who would post nothing but pictures of themselves over and over and over again. And there's always like two people who did it to the point where everyone else wanted them to stop. It's like, okay, that's enough. I've seen that picture of you 20 billion times. I've seen you take 40 poses of yourself. That's enough. There was always like 2 or 3 people who did that. And everyone in the group wanted them to cut it out, but they didn't. Sometimes they get tossed out of the group too because they were just so obnoxious about it. And of course, in some platforms like Instagram, people don't care about the pictures anymore. It's all about videos. Sometimes it's all about dumb videos, as I was talking about. I'm going to talk about how AI has changed running, and I'm probably going to do that next week to continue about talking about tech. And I'll talk about the good and the bad of AI, how it's helped running, and how it's really hurt running. And it has both ways. It's good and bad. There is a two-sided sword here. If you find that yourself is really stuck in social media and simply cannot pull yourself away from it, then it could be signs of something more. Social media addiction is a compulsive urge to use social media that disrupts daily life. It can involve constantly checking notifications, scrolling through feeds, or interacting online. The signs: spending excessive time on social media. And I see this a lot by people saying, I can't sleep at night, and they look at their phone. Well, that's not going to help you sleep. The worst thing you can do if you can't sleep is look at your phone. The better thing is put on your headlamp and start reading a book. That is a much better thing to get you to sleep. Actually, I did that last night. I couldn't sleep, so I put on my headlamp, started reading a book, and I went right to sleep. That's very, very helpful. I haven't done an episode about sleep, and I probably should do one, but maybe I'll do one later this year. Neglecting family and friends. Losing interests in hobbies like running. If you're losing interest in running, but you're more interested in going to social media. Poor performance at work or school. Oversharing personal details. This is another one that I see people, especially like in Facebook, who share every bit of their personal life. Stop doing that. No, you don't want to give Facebook everything about your life. You really don't, especially them. I don't trust anything about that company, and you shouldn't either. Being unable to detach from a device, intense anxiety when not using social media. Causes: social media platforms release dopamine when users receive notifications, which can reinforce compulsive behaviors. And social media platforms are designed to be addictive. Remember, they want you to keep looking at them. That's one huge reason why you should not look at them for a little bit and then go run. Here's some tips for reducing social media use. Set time limits on apps. Turn off notifications. Use an app to track time spent on social media. And actually, our phones have that built into them, so you don't even have to use that. Just look at this use every week when you do your updates and when you do your phone automatically does that. So look to see how much time you're using. Turn off your phone for meals and before bed, or at least turn down the sound. I don't put the sound on my phone, like for the alarms or the phone or the phone sound anyway. So I don't hear that. Go out and run. Really, go for a run or do some strength training instead of using social media. Take breaks from social media. Take a whole day off. I'm probably going to do that myself. Leave your phone out of your bedroom. This is huge. Leave it, or at least leave it across the room from your bed. This I'm going to probably do too as well. Just leave it across the room. That way, even if your alarm is on your bed, that way you have to get up in the morning when your alarm goes off. We used to do that with our alarm clocks, didn't we? Yes, our old timers. Maybe if you youngins don't know what that is. But yes, we used to do that many years ago. Now, if you need professional help and you simply cannot pull yourself away from social media, consider therapy like cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT. Join a support group. There are many. Involve family members to help you. And remember, teens and young adults are more affected by social media addiction, so look to see if there are anyone in your family that might be. Now, going for a run without your phone might be a great way to start pulling away from social media. Even not wearing a watch is good. Although I am guilty of not doing either of these, so maybe this is time for me to start doing this myself. So I will probably go for a run without, at least without my phone, in the near future. So that is the sad tale of Martha Runs the World and Facebook lately. So I will probably be setting that up. Give me until next week. I'll set up the whole page and I'll let you know what's going on with that. Now, I also wanted to talk to you about what my goals are for the coming year. I had said that I was interested in maybe doing some backpacking. Well, that has changed. Since a couple weeks ago, I had a couple really good runs, and I said, my running is not done. I want to get better at running. I want to be a better runner this year. I also need to cut back on my costs. And looking at the cost of backpacking equipment, gear, because if I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy good stuff. I'm not going to buy the cheap stuff that I probably won't use or won't work. That's pricey. It's very expensive. Backpacking tents are like $300-$400, equally as much for down sleeping bags. Now, I do want to get a backpack because I can use that in traveling, and my suitcase is old and beat up and I need to get a new one, but I don't want a suitcase, so I probably will get a backpack. But the other stuff I'm not going to get this year because I don't plan on doing any camping. I'm going to continue with running. I've got a couple races in the spring. I've got a half marathon in Napa in May. That's Todd. He's been on the show, the Todd Glyden's race. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my first 50 miler at the Cool Moon 50 in Cool, California, which is just south of Auburn. I'm going to do that in June. And then I want to do the Ruth Anderson 50K again in October, but I want to get a better time. And I know I can get a better time. I know I can do it faster than I did before. So I want to concentrate on that. So I'm probably not going to do any races from June until October, but I'm going to focus on getting a faster 50K. And that is on pavement, that is ground. So I will focus on doing that better. And I know I can if I can cut an hour off that and do it faster, I will. And I'm really going to concentrate on that. After that, I don't know, because I just had a birthday last week and I have 2 more years till I need to retire. So I have to save money for retirement. I can't keep taking these big vacations. The thing is that this last vacation that I took to Death Valley was probably the last long vacation that I'm going to take until I retire. It's fun. Vacations are fun. Going places are great, but they're also pricey, and I can't really spend the money right now. I have to pay off that vacation, and I also have to put money away for retirement. So I upped my 401k percentage a little bit so I can save some more money. And I'm going to, after Cool Moon 50, going to take a few extra days in that and go to Tahoe after that race. But after that race, I probably won't take another vacation for a few months. I might take one next year, but make it kind of low key. And maybe, I would like to do 100 miler, but we'll see. We'll see if I'll be able to do that. I don't know. I don't know about that. That's up in the air. That's next year. So those are my goals. And I will keep you up to date with that and how my training goes. I'll talk more about my training next week and more about the Facebook situation then. The website is martharunstheworld.com and my email is martharunstheworld@gmail.com. And that is it for today's show. So thank you so much for being a loyal listener. I appreciate all of you and I love you very much. So until next week, let's tie up our shoelaces and go for a run.